Twisted Metal is a 2023 post-apocalyptic action comedy series that premiered on Peacock July 27, 2023, and the series premiered with all 10 episodes for season 1. Each episode ranges between 23 to 32 minutes long, 23 minutes being the shortest episode, 32 minutes being the longest episode. It stars Anthony Mackie as John Doe, Stephanie Beatrice as Quiet, Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth, Will Arnett as the voice of Sweet Tooth, Nev Campbell as Raven, and Thomas Hayden Church as Agent Stone. Now, this show is interesting and fun. It's based off of the 1995 Sony PlayStation video game of the same name, but it's synonymous because we know the clown Sweet Tooth. And let me tell you, this show starts off and it just gets right into the action, basically kind of in a apocalyptic wasteland. After something happens in the world, all electronics are gone, everything just crashes, and you have to start doing things in order to survive. You have what you call citied walls, where evidently the rich are in there, the poor are outside, and John Doe plays a milkman. And he has to deliver packages and certain missions in order to survive and gain things. He picks something up, he gets something in return, like gas or certain foods or whatever he wants, and he gets that, like toilet paper or porno magazines. But then he also has amnesia. He doesn't remember when he was a child, doesn't know, how he became what he is now. And then he has to go on a mission for Raven, the COO of New San Francisco, in order to go to New Chicago to pick up something. Doesn't know what it is. Just don't ask questions. And then he has to take it back to her, all within 10 days. And within this 10-day span and window, he goes through some obstacles that he didn't anticipate, which he thought was going to be an easy, smooth ride. Now, this show is great with this action, but the comedy is really what sets it apart. He meets Stephanie Beatrice's character, Quiet, after something happens to her and her brother Loud when they are confronted by Agent Stone, played by Thomas Hayden Church, who is this kind of backstory we get where he's a rent-a-cop or a mall cop, but then he takes power into his own hands because the people needed someone and he stepped up and he abused this power because it was the end of the world. It's pretty simple, straightforward story. Now, in episode 2, and at the end of episode 1, and the entire episode 2, Sweet Tooth is introduced. This character is absolutely fucking amazing, hilarious, and fun to watch on screen. Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth in the full body costume, phenomenal. Will Arnett, perfect. Will Arnett as a voiceover actor is absolutely amazing. He just captures the dynamic of how everything is done, and done in a way where it's really, really good. Every single person in this show has great dynamic on screen. It's absolutely amazing. Anthony Mackie, Stephanie Beatrice as John Doe, and Quiet really, really share the screen really well. They start off hating each other. John Doe talks a lot. Quiet doesn't say much. We really don't know her real name. But over the course of each episode, at the beginning of certain episodes, we get backstories of certain characters, or basically all the characters. We get the backstory of John Doe, Quiet. We even get Sweet Tooth's backstory, which is really, really traumatizing in a way, I want to say, because he was a child actor and he did something on set and then it turned him into this person that he is. But he always wanted fans, and he wants the fans, and he wants an audience, and it's explained in a great, great way. Agent Stone also has an interesting backstory, and the aspect of everything happening is really, really different. We have the preacher, played by Jason Mantzoukas, and who's really, really good. His scenes that he's in is really fun. There are different outposts and different people and kind of groups that stay together. You have the truckers, you have the holy men, you have Sweet Tooth doing his thing, you have the lawmen. It's just really done really well. The character of Sweet Tooth is really straightforward, front and center, comedic, great, and you can see him building his kind of army in a way. But the aspect of near the end of this series, with season 1, we have that where he lights his head on fire, and we get that flaming head. So good. They nail the aspect of Sweet Tooth to a point where it's unimaginable, and then people are like, how is it going to happen? When you heard this movie, when this TV series was happening, what could you possibly do? Well, they did that. The car Roadkill is in this and done to great. It's Mad Max meets The Walking Dead. If you can wrap that around your head, it's so good. There's nothing that I didn't like about this show. This show really kept me on the edge of my seat. The comedy was good, and the aspect of the emotion and the drama was also in there and filled really, really well, especially John Doe trying to open up to Quiet and Quiet slowly opening up to John Doe. And the scenes when they're fighting, and then all of a sudden the scenes where they're making out and getting together and having sex in a ball pit in a burger restaurant. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. The comedic timing. Anthony Mackie is really underrated as an actor, and it shows because he does a phenomenal job carrying this show. Everyone carries this show on their backs for certain reasons, certain ways. It's so much fun. You could say like certain aspects like, oh, it's too much CGI. No, nothing is used aspect of CGI. Maybe the wide shots when the cars are driving on the road or when the missiles are firing off. And when the missiles are firing off and the fire's behind it, they have the purple smoke, the interesting aspect. The clown on top of Sweet Tooth's ice cream truck is like, blows up like it does in the video game. It's so, so good, and the ending is really, really good. It does leave it open for a second season where the tournament happens. If you know the concept and how the video games go and how the video games work, the tournament is the big, big aspect also in the later video games, and this is one of them. You could see that, okay, certain characters that died in this season are in the tournament, but like, wait a minute, what's happening? I've never seen Neve Campbell play a villain before, but she is so amazing as Raven, especially in the scenes that she's in. She's maybe in episode 1, a little bit of 2, and then at episode 9 and 10, and it's just crazy. Like, the way her character is and works is very, very different, and the way John Doe is very different. He wants that lifestyle of being on the inside because it's free. He gets to eat, he gets to live, and all of a sudden you find out it's not what it seems. Outside is better than inside. So it's really eye-opening. I love Stephanie Beatrice as Quiet. She was just sexy, tough, in your face. I even loved her acting on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and seeing her do something else is great. Thomas Hayden Church as Agent Stone is one of the biggest villains and dickheads I've ever seen him play, and he plays it so, so well. It's like, okay, Stone, you're getting on my nerves. What is your back history with Quiet? What is the aspect? How does everything happen? What is the intertwiningness, and the truck people were even great. How they have a city built within trucks that go through the truck. Mesmerizing, amazing. I mean, the way this series was developed is fun from start to finish. Peacock needs to pick this up for a second season, and it needs to happen as soon as possible. I mean, between 23 to 32 minutes, it's a quick watch. I binge watched it, finished it in 5.5 hours, and it's so good. Each episode title is kind of a play on license plate numbers and lettering, and it's different and great. When you see it, you'll be like, wow, that's interesting. This was one of my big anticipated shows of 2023. It did not disappoint. It's great. I played the video games growing up. I still kind of play the video games now, and just seeing the dynamic of what's going on, I mean, it's fun. I can't say anything was bad about it. It was comedic, it was witty, it was sarcastic. The one-liners are great. The aspect of the end of the world happening and the mix of the kind of vehicular combat, post-apocalyptic, using cars and guns and knives and machetes is great. Every single catchphrase that Sweet Tooth says in the video game is in this show. Fantastic. Love it. I really enjoyed it from start to finish, and I know you will too if you're a fan of something like this. I like shows and movies that don't take themselves too seriously. This show doesn't, which is why it's fantastic. For me, Twisted Metal gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Twisted Metal. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the characters, the story? What was your favorite scene? What was your least favorite scene? Did you like Sweet Tooth's character or did you not like him? And who do you think was the main villain in this? And who do you think was the good guys? And do you see this show going on for a few more seasons, or do you think this is it? Or do you think with the ending that they had, there should be a second season? Also, let me know, what rating would you give Twisted Metal, and did you play the 1995 video game on the PlayStation 1. And did you enjoy it? And have you been a fan of this ever since? And did you like that this was more of a TV show than a movie? Let me know in the comment section below about all of the questions I just asked. And also let me know what rating you would give Twisted Metal. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video. And thank you so much for tuning in.